Hi guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. So it's been quite a long time since we have broken out our Greek Cavalry. We've actually been doing slowly, if those of you can remember, like a slow grind series with these guys, bringing them up and up and up. And it's been quite a while since we actually had a video. The last video we did on them was the start of the tier 7s. And I have actually played them a bit more every now and again. And I'm slowly working my way down the various equipment. So things like we've got the slightly upgraded body armor, slightly upgraded greaves, which is nice because of the movement speed. And I have decided to go for the second of the two spears. There's kind of two choices here, and they're not definitively better than each other. It's kind of a personal preference thing. So you've got one which gives a little impact damage, but a reasonable amount of melee weapon damage and penetration damage. And then another which sacrifices weapon damage, so you do less weapon damage, less penetration, but gives increased impact damage. So you're either going for charge or hand-to-hand combat. Well, in my opinion, the Greeks are pretty bad at hand-to-hand combat as a general rule. So you're really exacerbating some bad stats just by using this. It doesn't really make them good. You're still bad at it. So I think for me, Greeks are and always have been all about the charge. And I think you should be playing to your strengths, not your weaknesses. So this is what I'm going for, and it seems like the logical thing. I was just going to quickly check what that puts our weapon damage at. They're pretty mediocre. We're going to be, what, 202. Yeah, not great, I must admit, but it could be worse. So, yes, that's kind of why I've gone for that. We've still got a few more upgrades there to go. I probably wouldn't sacrifice 2% movement speed for 3 body armor. So I probably won't bother with that. Obviously, we'll get the upgraded helmet because we have to for part of the next step tree up to tier 8s. So, yeah, can't wait to go. Alexander himself is fully upgraded at tier 7 now. Thanks to all the free XP we got the other weekend. So, yeah, all looking good. So, let's hop into a battle and see if we can do well. If you don't remember the previous series, these are all done live, so there's no, editing or anything on these. These are just, so it goes how it goes. So, these may end up going pretty badly. So, I shall see you all in the battle. So, we are just loading into the Battle of Rubicon. Could be a worse map. Not my favourite map either. We've got a bit of cavalry kicking around on our team, so there's probably going to be a similar sort of 3 or 4 enemy commanders probably on the other team. So yeah, we might have a bit of stuff to try and pick off, see if we can. Yeah, possibly anyway. So yeah, I'm going to stay over in this flank, see if anything. Hopefully these guys will just go straight for the catch point. If not, I'll go for it myself. Because you get such good visibility on this side. I'm always a big fan of this side because I feel like you can pick and choose if you want to fight. Based on what you see, you know, it gives you so many options. Another thing I guess people always wonder with these Greek cavalry is sort of to wedge or not to wedge. And they kind of, like, it's such a hard question, I think. I tend to now wedge at the start of games because you're often more likely to be fighting enemy cavalry at the start of the game, in which case wedge can be useful. Particularly if it's other Greek cavalry. But you only get 6% impact damage, so I don't think it really makes all that much difference, to be honest. So we've got quite a lot of stuff coming across. Well, 3 infantry, 3 ranged units. If we're going to play hard, then I can get the ranged if they're going to engage these guys. So let's think about pushing into these guys hard then, see if we can get into some of these javelins. Are they caltrop carrying? It doesn't say they are, but it's consumables that always show up on this sort of things very clearly. So we'll assume that they probably could well be. I'm going to cluster together slightly to get myself well clear of the javelins if they want to push this way. Although they look like they want to try and go for me. I just want to stay hidden. These guys obviously want to push for me, so they're forcing me to make a decision. Quite a good move really, because, well, unless I can get clear, no, which I don't feel like I can safely. There we go. I want to get clear behind them, you see, so that then they have to face the infantry and they don't know where I am. So I want to get clear, well behind, like that. So then we've got these 2 other infantry which we really need to get engaged, really, because once they get engaged, then that really gives me my options. I need those cleavers to get stuck in, because once those guys are dead, then that gives me my perfect sort of selection of options there. I'm just keeping my 2 units back. feel like I only really need one. Whether I can pull this off or not, I wouldn't like to say. You don't know where they are. I'm hoping they don't know where I am. Go for the charge. Bit wide. But I'll take it. Get that off to try and get some of these guys to rout now. We are standing on flames, but you know it's not very effective against cavalry, to be honest. Bring another 2 units down, possibly. Let's just keep focusing on these guys. See if we can get some of them to rout again. You know, we can kill enough of them. We can actually completely destroy the unit, which is what we're trying to do. Okay, so let's look at bringing these other 2 units down. Okay, that went well. I'm pleased with that. It was kind of inevitable for them in a way. They were just playing a bit of a dangerous game. So let's keep these guys out. Hopefully we're not going to get... Wow, there's a lot of stuff capping. Okay, let's just push this way back to base. Because we're going to have a fair set of problems there, I think. Hopefully I can get back in some semblance of time. A bit of a fight between some cavalry and some swordsmen. I don't know if I'm going to make it back in time if there's no one else there to decap. What have they got? Wow, a lot of stuff. It's a really close battle actually so far. Mostly cavalry trying to hold them up. They've got these Pontic archers in the middle who have protected themselves with a phalanx unit, which is obviously a good move. Oh dear, I don't foresee this going stunningly well. But what am I going to do? And they've got light artillery. Wow, lovely. They've got themselves in some nice positions, haven't they? Let's pull around this side. At least we'll keep out of range of the enemy light artillery. Oh, that's enemy cavalry there. Unexpected. Let's look like we haven't noticed him, just in case he thinks I don't know about his thing like that. Turn. Charge. We should win the charge still. Yep, and dead. Okay, we've got the reset gone. Okay, what do we... That was quite funny. We baited him properly there. Are we going to have to reset stuff again? Hopefully we can. Oops, that's not a very good charge, was it? Charging into nothing. Oh, it's all going so well. But we won on the capture anyway. Whew. That was certainly a bit of an intense game at points, wasn't it? I'm pleased we won that one. So yes, that actually went pretty well from catching the enemy javelins out in the open. Obviously, that goes to show, you know, you think about the damage we did to those javelins, you wouldn't get that with any other cavalry unit. You know, we basically took 2/3 of their health off. All those 3 units all stood in a blob. And that is in part due to the high impact damage of Greeks. And, you know, that's exacerbated by things like we're running that second spear, which means you just do so much damage in the charge. Then on top of that, obviously, we had our wedge, which gives us another 6%. All works out pretty well. Then that was quite funny when we managed to bait those barbarians. I guess that's the risk of infiltration. You never quite know if it's working or not. And he obviously thought he could sneak up on me. But, you know, with that sort of insanely high impact, charge impact we have, it basically means that I can charge at any point and I'm always going to be winning that engagement. You know, I was pretty late on the charge there. I was almost stationary when I hit the charge. You know, it was pretty poorly executed on my part, really. Yet, you know, the power of the Greeks is that they turn on you and you're dead, basically. And we just eradicated his entire unit. 20,000 hit points in one charge. The power of the Greeks there. So, you know, got to watch out for them. So, yeah, let's hop into our second battle and see if we can do quite so well. So, we are loading into Hadrian's Wall. Probably my least favourite map in the game. Even more so as cavalry, so should be fun. Where am I going to go? Maybe go on this side? I don't know. I'll have to see where everyone else goes. No, I'll stick with where I am, and I guess I can always adjust, can't I? So it depends where the enemy cavalry is going to deploy. We've got a bit of a cavalry kicking around on our team, 3 units, so probably going to be a bit on the enemy team as well. So we'll just play a similar sort of tactic. Start off safe, play it carefully, see what our targets are going to be. See if we can find any other cavalry to try and perform a similar barbarian wreckage on, and yeah, see how we get on. I guess we can push a unit up hard and go for the cap point. The flag here, you know. Oh, someone else is there. That's cavalry. What's that going to be? Barbarians? I mean, I assume they won't stay there, but you never know. We'll check. Oh, they left it a bit late there. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. We actually took more losses than I thought. I think we probably hit the wall a bit there. Possibly bring up another unit in reserve. Nope, they're not going to. Okay, well, that was an engagement that didn't really help anyone, did it? We got the upper hand of it slightly, but it was hardly exactly a quality engagement. So, what else have we got? Legion Cavalry as Red April with his Blood Riders. So there's more Blood Riders there versus Getric's Blood Riders. So they won't be all that quick actually. We've got a fairly impassable blockage in the middle. The Romans about to get absolutely screwed over by some pikes. This is why I dislike this map, because there's these 3 passage points. That's your only options. Top, middle, south, and once everything's blocked, then you're kind of stuck until the game progresses, because I can't push through the middle. I could go all the way up to the side, but there's quite a lot of stuff there. I'm guessing I should have really stayed over this point at the start of the game. Would have been the right thing to do. So we'll head back over this way, get us onto the other side of the enemy base, see what else we can find. It's just being standing there being mullered by archers. Looks like we're getting a pretty nice early start to this game. Things are looking pretty good. Oh my god, look at all there's left of those poor Romans. Never fight pikes head on in the open ground like that. Oh, that was just painful to watch. So, let's push around here. You know, I want to get in on a bit of this killing action. I feel like I'm missing out. So I'm going to come down this road. They've not got any artillery or anything like that. They have got a lot of cavalry though that we can try and maybe get the jump on some of them. The speed we're getting on this road with dash actually quite a lot. Just down the road itself, 9.99, not quite 10. I think it would round up just to make me happier. This is some Romans there. Yeah, I'm not doing particularly well in terms of getting any viable targets here at the moment. Things to come to it, obviously we can plough into things like Romans, and Greek Cavalry actually do quite well in that sort of thing because they've got that such high charge impact damage. They actually tend to do quite well. But really, we want to be starting to get some of the more vulnerable units. So what have we got? Archers around here. You know, everyone's in disarray. This is what we want to be looking for. There's javelins, there's enemy cavalry. This is where we have the potential to actually get some damage in. Now, we've got to be careful because there are enemy spearmen around. These enemy javelins are on the road. It'd be lovely if these guys ran down here. Even going through a forest, which obviously isn't ideal. Ah, they've spotted me. Okay, let's try and cut them off from... No, I can't though, can I? Annoying. Okay, they're just going to go that way entirely. Let them go. Then let's find our targets. Unit of ambushes there as well. So let's pull these 2 units this way. Let's try and do this properly. Come on guys, faster! Not the ideal forest units for this, are they? I'm going to take a lot of damage if I charge it. Oh, what was that? No, 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 no! Oh, what are you guys doing as well? It's just not been such a good game. That was just poorly done all in all. Turn off wedge. Come on, you're trying to be killing these cavalry. I'm not even deploying an anvil. This poor guy is just getting slaughtered by these archers. But we look like we're going to cap them out. Well, that was certainly not such a good, well-played game, was it? We completely screwed up my charge. So that's the risk with charging in this sort of situation, is that you, of course, you're going to run into the cliff. No, capped out anyway. Well, that was certainly not such a good second game as it was the first one. That was a pretty shocking display, wasn't it? Here's really got a few points, but not a lot. Yeah, so, yeah. Not a lot to say about that. Let's have a look. I don't know if I want to look. Oh dear. Oh dear. The risk with Alexander, well, not the risk with Alexander, the risk with me playing Alexander doesn't always quite go to plan. Yeah, it's quite hard to get archers when they line themselves up on the cliff like that. It is actually quite an effective tactic, because if I go for a full-on charge into them, I'm just going to do so much damage to myself just piling into the cliff, and because you're only going to be targeting a very thin point of the line, you don't do that much damage to them. It kind of makes them almost unchargeable when they line up on a cliff like that, unless you can sort of sweep down the length of the cliff, which is pretty hard to do, as you can see, because you can't really click too close to the edge of the cliffs, because otherwise you go on the other side and then your people turn around and then you charge into nothing. So yeah, the problem is just trying to gather archers up on cliffs can be difficult. So hopefully you've enjoyed our continuation of the Alexander line. We are almost on to the next Greaves now, although as I say, I don't think I'll be using these ones because I'd rather have the bit of movement speed and turn speed. But yeah, we're starting to get there, and then hopefully we'll get onto the tier 8s. Wow, that's a complicated name. Somatophylakes. Okay, well, we've got them to look forward to at tier 8. In case anyone's wondering, because I forgot to mention at the start, the two consumables I'm running are the Olympics, mostly for the movement speed. It gives you a little bit of melee defense and weapon damage. And most importantly, the Thessalonian Steeds for the impact damage. Pretty much all the impact damage is what I want on there. Plus 15 impact damage is a decent amount, and that's what helps give the enormous charge potential of these Greeks. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video on Alexander. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next video.